You mentioned on the form that mornings are the hardest part of your day.
Every single morning. I wake up and I just can't seem to shake it off. That heavy feeling, like my body hasn't caught up yet.
How long has that been going on?
Honestly, months, maybe longer. I kept thinking I just needed more sleep, so I started going to bed earlier. 8 hours, 9 hours some nights. And it's actually getting worse.
Getting worse with more sleep.
Which makes no sense to me. That's why I'm here.
It makes more sense than you'd think. Tell me about a typical evening. What time do you actually wind down?
Wind down? I finish work around 7, sometimes 8, then dinner, maybe some TV. I try to be in bed by 10, 10:30.
And what does being in bed mean? Are you asleep at 10:30?
No. I'm on my phone for a bit, reading, sometimes just lying there thinking about whatever I didn't finish that day.
So your body is in the bed, but your brain hasn't arrived yet.
That's a pretty accurate way of putting it.
And what time are you waking up?
My alarm is set for 6:30, but I usually wake up before that, 5 something, and then I just lie there because it feels too early to get up.
Don't lie in bed once you're awake. That's one of the first things we'll come back to. But keep going. When you eventually get up at 6:30, how do you feel?
Like I haven't slept, even though I technically have. 8 hours, sometimes more, and I feel like I've been run over.
That feeling has a name. That's your body running on fumes from fragmented sleep. You're spending too long in bed and not enough time in actual restorative sleep.
But more time in bed should mean more sleep, shouldn't it?
That's the thing nobody tells you. More time in bed does not equal more sleep. It often means lighter, more broken sleep. Your brain needs consistent signals, a consistent entry time, a consistent exit time. When that window is too wide, everything inside it gets thinner and less effective.
Thinner sleep?
Exactly. You're getting quantity and losing quality. And the way it feels in the morning, that heaviness, that I just can't seem to shake it off feeling, that's not a sign you need more. That's often a sign you've had too much of the wrong kind.
Too much of the wrong kind. That's not what I expected to hear today.
Most people don't. Can I ask, do you have a regular wake-up time? The same time every day, including weekends?
No. Weekends I sleep in, 9, sometimes 10. I figured that was recovery.
It feels like recovery, but what it's actually doing is resetting your body clock 2 days out of every 7. Every Monday morning, you're essentially jet-lagged.
Every Monday? That actually explains a lot. Mondays are brutal.
They are for a lot of people running that pattern. The good news is this is fixable, and it doesn't involve sleeping more.
It involves sleeping less?
It involves sleeping better, which sometimes does mean less time in bed, yes, but more importantly, it means smarter time in bed. Your sleep window is too wide, and we need to talk about what happens at both ends of it.
Both ends.
The morning end and the evening end, they're both contributing to how you feel right now. Let's start with the evening, because I think that's where the real picture is going to come from. What does the last 90 minutes before bed actually look like for you?
Honestly, it varies. Sometimes I'm still responding to messages. Sometimes I'm watching something on my laptop. If it's a stressful day, I might have a drink to take the edge off.
The last 90 minutes before bed matter more than anything else in your entire sleep cycle, more than how many hours you're getting, more than what time you wake up. That window is where your brain either gets permission to shift into sleep mode or it doesn't.
And mine isn't getting permission.
Not consistently, no. The screens, the messages, the drink, all of those are signals to your brain that the day is still happening. Your body is lying in the bed. Your brain thinks it's still 3 in the afternoon.
That's uncomfortable to hear.
It's meant to be a little uncomfortable because once you hear it, you can't unhear it, and that's actually where the change begins.
Okay, so the evenings need to change. What about the mornings? You mentioned not lying in bed once I'm awake.
Yes, When you wake up before your alarm, even at 5 in the morning, and you lie there trying to get back to sleep, you're usually not sleeping, you're hovering. You're not getting deep rest, you're just in that half world between sleep and awake, and it feels exhausting because it is.
I thought lying there was better than getting up too early.
You're not sleeping, you're just lying there, and that half-world feeling, that's what's following you into the morning. That's the heaviness you can't shake off.
So everything I thought I was doing right
Was based on a completely understandable but slightly backwards idea, and that's the thing nobody tells you about sleep. More isn't always the answer. Sometimes less, done well, changes everything. There's a concept I want you to introduce you to, and I want you to sit with it before you react. It's called sleep window compression.
Sleep window compression. That sounds very clinical.
It sounds clinical. The idea is simple. Your sleep window is too wide. You're in bed for 9, sometimes 10 hours, and we cut it back, deliberately and carefully.
You want me to sleep less?
I want you to sleep more efficiently. Cut it back by 30 minutes to start. Go to bed 30 minutes later than you currently do. Keep your wake-up time fixed.
And that helps?
Because your brain is only going to generate a certain amount of deep sleep. That amount doesn't really change based on how long you're in bed. What changes is how concentrated it is. Compress the window, and the deep sleep fills a bigger proportion of it.
So stretching it out is actually diluting it.
Exactly. You've been treating the symptom, not the cause. The symptom is feeling tired. The cause is fragmented, diluted sleep spread across too many hours.
I genuinely never thought about it that way. I've spent months going to bed earlier and wondering why it's making things worse.
Most people do. And I want to be clear, this doesn't mean depriving yourself. It means respecting what your body actually needs, which for most adults sits somewhere between 6.5 and 8 hours. Not 9, not 10.
So where do I actually land? How do I find my real number?
That's a great question, and the honest answer is you find it by experimenting. You start with the compression. Cut it back by 30 minutes. Give it a week, a real week, not 3 days. And you track how you feel, not how many hours you've logged.
A real week. Okay. And the wake-up time. You said keep that fixed. That includes weekends?
Wake up at the same time, no matter what. 7 days. That single habit is probably the most powerful thing you can do for your sleep. More powerful than any supplement or any app.
That's going to be hard. Saturday mornings are the one time I feel like I have permission to just not set an alarm.
I understand that completely. And I'm not asking you to give it up forever. I'm asking you to try it for 1 week and notice what Monday morning feels like.
And if it's still terrible?
Then we adjust. That's the whole point. This isn't a one-size approach. But in my experience, when people hold that consistent wake time for 7 days, really hold it, Monday starts to feel different. Not perfect, but different.
Different would be enough right now. Different would honestly feel like a miracle.
Let's aim for different first. Miracles can wait. Now, the morning side of this. You mentioned waking before your alarm and lying there. When that happens, what's the first thing you do?
Look at my phone.
Right, and what does the phone show you?
The time, messages, sometimes I check the news.
So your body wakes before your alarm. Your brain is still in that softer state between sleep and full awareness, and the very first thing it receives is a screen full of information, which is...
You're fighting your own biology?
Your brain produces a hormone called cortisol in the early morning to help you wake naturally and feel alert. Light exposure is everything in the morning, especially real light or bright light in the absence of that. But when the first light your eyes receive is a phone screen, and the first information your brain receives is news or messages, you short-circuit that whole process.
So the phone is the problem in the morning, too?
The phone is a significant part of it, yes, not because screens are evil, but because of the timing. Your brain is running on fumes in those first minutes. It hasn't had a chance to complete its own waking process, and you're interrupting it.
I've never thought of it as an interruption. I thought I was just checking in.
It feels like checking in. It registers in your nervous system as a demand, and you're doing it before your brain has even fully arrived at the day.
Okay, so no phone immediately after waking.
Give yourself 10 minutes first. Just 10. Sit up, drink some water, open a curtain, or step outside for even a moment. That's your brain's signal that the day has started on your terms.
Light exposure is everything in the morning. You said that.
And I meant it. That one signal, daylight or bright light first thing, sets your entire circadian rhythm for the next 24 hours. It's not a nice extra. It's actually the anchor of the whole system.
That's the thing nobody tells you, isn't it? Everyone talks about how many hours. Nobody talks about the first 10 minutes.
Nobody talks about the first 10 minutes. And those 10 minutes are shaping the rest of your day in ways you can't see.
Can I ask you something a bit more personal?
Of course.
Did any of this ever apply to you, or are you just naturally a good sleeper?
No, absolutely not. There was a period, years ago, when I was working late, eating late, going to bed with my laptop, waking up exhausted. I thought I was just someone who needed more sleep. I kept adding hours, and I kept feeling worse.
What changed?
Someone asked me, what time do you actually wind down? And I realized I had no answer. There was no wind down. The day just stopped when I passed out. That one change made everything for me.
That one change made everything click for you.
That one change made everything click for me. It took about 3 days to feel the shift. Not the full shift, just the beginning of it. And that was enough to keep going.
3 days.
3 days it takes to feel the shift. The first day usually feels harder. The second day is strange. By the third morning, something is different. Not perfect, but noticeably different. Let me give you something concrete to walk out of here with. Not a long list, just 4 things. Because 4 things you actually do are worth more than 20 things you write down and forget.
4 things. I can do 4 things.
The first one we've already covered. Wake up at the same time no matter what. Set it, hold it, every day for 1 week. That's your foundation. Everything else sits on top of that.
Same time, every day, even Saturday.
Even Saturday. The second thing, your sleep window is too wide, so we cut it back by 30 minutes. If you're currently going to bed at 10, go at 10:30. Keep the wake time the same. That compression is going to feel uncomfortable for the first night or two. That's normal. That discomfort is actually a good sign.
A good sign.
It means your body is building real sleep pressure. That pressure is what makes the sleep you do get much deeper and much more restorative.
That makes sense. What's the third thing?
The last 90 minutes before bed matter more than anything. Pick one thing to remove from that window this week. Just one. The phone, the laptop, the evening drink. Pick the one that's easiest to move and move it. You don't have to transform your whole evening. One change this week.
The drink is probably the easiest to move. I can shift that earlier.
Perfect. That's the exact kind of decision that creates momentum. And the fourth thing, in the morning when you wake up, don't lie in bed once you're awake. Sit up, open the curtain, get the light. Give your brain 10 minutes before you touch your phone.
10 minutes. Just 10.
Just 10. That's enough to complete the waking process naturally and let your brain arrive at the day without being ambushed.
These all sound manageable when you say them like that. I think I've been making it so much more complicated in my head.
Most people do because we live in a world that talks about sleep in terms of numbers, 8 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours, and the number feels like the answer. But you're not fighting your own biology because of the number. You're fighting it because of the patterns around the number.
The patterns around the number. I'm going to remember that.
You've been treating the symptom, not the cause, for a long time, Daniel. The symptom is the tiredness. The cause is the fragmented, inconsistent architecture of the sleep itself. And architecture is fixable.
When you put it that way, I came in here thinking I was broken, like something was just wrong with me that no one could explain.
You're not broken. You're running a pattern that produces a predictable result. Change the pattern, give it a week, a real week, and the result changes.
Give it a week, a real week.
Not 3 days, not 5 days, 7. Because the first 3 days, your body is adjusting. Days 4 and 5, you start to feel the shift. Days 6 and 7, you have enough data to actually know something is working.
It takes about 3 days to feel the shift. You said that earlier. So I should expect the first few days to be hard.
Expect them to be different, not necessarily hard. Different is the honest word. Your body is moving from a chaotic pattern to a consistent one. That transition has a texture to it. It's not painful, it's just unfamiliar.
Unfamiliar I can handle. I've been handling exhausted for months. Unfamiliar sounds like progress.
That's exactly the right way to think about it.
Can I ask, the people you see who actually make these changes, do most of them stick with it?
The ones who feel the shift on day 3 almost always stick with it, because that one change made everything click for them. Not the whole picture, just enough of it. And once you feel what a morning can be like without that heaviness, you don't want to go back.
That one change made everything click. I want that.
You're going to have it. But here's what I want you to remember when Thursday morning feels hard and you want to sleep in. The goal isn't to sleep less. The goal is to wake up feeling like yourself. Fewer, better hours of real sleep will get you there faster than 9 hours of the thin, fragmented kind.
Fewer, better hours. Not less sleep, better sleep.
Better sleep. And light exposure is everything in the morning. Get outside for even 5 minutes. That single signal resets your entire system.
I never thought a window could do that much work.
Nature's been running that system for a very long time. We just forgot to use it.
Okay, 4 things. Same wake time every day. Sleep window cut back by 30 minutes. Last 90 minutes, move one thing out of it. And 10 minutes of light before the phone.
That's it. That's the whole plan for week 1. Don't add anything, don't research more tips, don't download an app, just those 4 things, consistently for 7 days.
And you think I will feel different?
I think you'll feel different by day 3 and genuinely surprised by day 7. Your brain needs a consistent exit time, a consistent entry time, and a real signal that the day has begun. You haven't been giving it any of those things. Give it all 3 and watch what happens.
I can't believe I've been trying to solve this by adding more of the thing that was making it worse.
You were doing what made sense with the information you had. That's all any of us do. The information is different now.
The information is different now. Thank you. I mean that genuinely.
Come back in 2 weeks and tell me about your Mondays.
If Monday feels different, I'll be back in 1.
I'll hold you to that.